The Solar Signature, a handbook for martial arts enthusiasts, an integration of cosmic principles and physical training. Preface: the harmony of the spheres and the spirit of the warrior. Since the earliest days of human civilization, two great traditions have sought to understand the forces that shape our existence: the observation of the heavens above and the cultivation of the warrior spirit within. The ancient seers who mapped the stars and the masters who refined the art of combat were in many ways asking the same question: how does the individual align with the greater forces of the universe? The Solar Signature Handbook is born from this ancient inquiry. It proposes that the cosmos is not merely a backdrop to human life, but a living template, a foundational fractal whose patterns repeat from the smallest atom to the grandest solar system, and whose rhythms resonate within the breath, the strike, and the stillness of the martial artist. The foundational fractal. At the heart of this work lies a single profound idea. The universe is self-similar. Fractals, those infinitely repeating patterns found in nature, are not mere mathematical curiosities. They are the signature of creation itself. The spiral of a galaxy mirrors the spiral of a seashell. The branching of a river delta echoes the branching of blood vessels within your body. The orbital dance of planets around the sun is mirrored in the dance of electrons around the atomic nucleus. This is the foundational fractal, the recognition that the same organizing intelligence that governs the cosmos governs the human being. When the martial artist understands this principle, training becomes more than physical conditioning. It becomes a conscious participation in the patterns of the universe. Bridging astrology and martial arts. Astrology at its deepest level is not fortune-telling. It is the study of cosmic rhythms and their reflection in human experience. Each planet carries an archetypal quality: the drive of Mars, the expansiveness of Jupiter, the discipline of Saturn, and these qualities find direct expression in the principles of martial arts. The explosive initiation of Aries mirrors the first strike. The enduring groundedness of Taurus reflects the immovable stance. The fluid adaptability of Gemini embodies the shifting guard. By understanding these correspondences, the martial artist gains a richer vocabulary for self-knowledge and a more nuanced approach to training. Cosmic integration in training. Integrating cosmic principles into martial arts practice is not abstract philosophy. It is practical wisdom. Training cycles aligned with lunar rhythms can optimize recovery and peak performance. Solar transitions, the solstices and equinoxes, mark natural periods for reassessment and renewal of purpose. The practitioner who moves with these cycles, rather than against them, discovers a deeper reservoir of energy and resilience. Chapter 4: Introduction. The Solar System as a Template for Natural Systems. The solar system is perhaps the most elegant model of organized complexity that nature has produced. At its center, the Sun, a massive, radiant source of energy, governs the movements of all bodies within its gravitational field. Each planet occupies its own orbital niche, maintaining a precise relationship with the center and with its neighbors. Order emerges from dynamic balance. This model is not unique to the heavens. It appears everywhere in nature. Ecosystems organize around energy sources. Organisms organize around central nervous systems. Communities organize around shared values and leadership. The solar system is not merely a fact of astronomy. It is a template for understanding how any complex system achieves coherence and vitality. Hierarchical organization in the solar system. Within the solar system, hierarchy is not a matter of dominance but of function. The Sun provides energy. The inner planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, occupy the zone of personal immediate experience. The outer planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, represent broader, transpersonal forces that shape the larger arc of life. This hierarchical structure has direct parallels in martial arts training. The individual practitioner is the center. The immediate techniques, strikes, blocks, footwork are the inner planets. The broader principles, philosophy, lineage, ethics, are the outer planets. Each layer informs and supports the others. Atomic structure, the microcosmic solar system. At the opposite end of the scale spectrum, the atom reveals the same pattern. A dense nucleus at the center, analogous to the Sun, is orbited by electrons at precise energy levels. The forces governing atomic structure are different in nature from gravitational forces, yet the organizing principle is identical, a central source of influence, surrounded by orbiting elements in dynamic equilibrium. This microcosmic parallel reminds us that the patterns we see in the heavens are not imposed from above. They arise from the same intelligence that structures matter at its most fundamental level. The martial artist who grasps this is training not just the body, but the very fabric of their being. Ecological systems, feedback and interdependence. Ecological systems thrive through feedback, the continuous exchange of information and resources among all members of the system. A forest is not a collection of individual trees. It is a community of interdependent organisms, each contributing to and drawing from a shared web of life. Martial arts schools function similarly. The senior practitioner feeds knowledge downward. The junior practitioner brings fresh energy and questioning upward. The dojo is an ecosystem, and its health depends on the quality of its feedback loops. Cognitive benefits of simplifying complexity. One of the most practical gifts of the fractal perspective is cognitive clarity. When we recognize that complex systems share the same underlying patterns, we can navigate them with greater ease. The practitioner who understands the solar system as a template can apply that same understanding to the human body, the dojo hierarchy, the rhythm of combat, and do so intuitively without laborious analysis. Simplification is not reductionism. It is the recognition of deep structure beneath apparent complexity. The human body, nested systems, and functional integration. The human body is a masterpiece of nested systems. Cells organize into tissues. Tissues organize into organs. Organs organize into systems: circulatory, respiratory, nervous, musculoskeletal. All of these systems integrate seamlessly in the healthy, trained body. For the martial artist, this integration is both the goal and the means. Effective technique arises from the coordinated action of multiple body systems. Power flows from the ground through the legs, through the core, through the shoulder, to the hand. A chain of integrated systems, each contributing its portion of force to the whole. Chapter 5: Precision of the Cosmic Template. The cosmos operates with extraordinary precision. Planetary orbits, while not perfectly circular, follow elliptical paths that can be predicted centuries in advance. The timing of eclipses, the cycles of the planets, the precession of the equinoxes, all unfold according to laws of breathtaking mathematical elegance. This precision is not cold or mechanical. It is the precision of a master calligrapher, whose every stroke is informed by years of practice and a deep attunement to the flow of energy through the brush. The martial artist seeks this same quality, technique so refined that it achieves its effect with minimal force and maximal precision. Chapter 6: From Personal Fate to Universal Meaning. Astrology has often been used to describe personal fate. What will happen to me? What are my strengths and weaknesses? What is my destiny? The solar signature approach honors this personal dimension while moving beyond it to a larger question: how does my individual path contribute to universal meaning? Each practitioner carries a unique solar signature, a particular configuration of cosmic energies that defines their natural gifts, their challenges, and their deepest purpose. When this signature is understood and consciously cultivated, personal practice becomes a contribution to the collective evolution of the martial arts tradition. Chapter 7: The Solar Signature and the Martial Arts. Principles of the Solar Signature Approach. The Solar Signature Approach rests on three foundational principles. First, that each individual embodies a unique configuration of cosmic energies, reflected in the natal astrological chart. Second, that these energies have direct correspondences to the qualities cultivated in martial arts training. Third, that conscious alignment of personal practice with one's solar signature accelerates development and deepens fulfillment. Utilizing the chart as an adjunct to martial arts practice. The astrological chart is a map, not a mandate. It describes tendencies, not fixed destinies. Used wisely, it helps the practitioner identify their natural strengths, the qualities that flow easily and can be developed into genuine excellence, and their shadow areas, the qualities that require more conscious cultivation. A practitioner with strong Martian energy may excel at explosive power, but need to cultivate patience and strategic thinking. A practitioner with strong Saturnian energy may possess great discipline, but need to develop spontaneity and creative responsiveness. The chart illuminates both the gift and the growing edge. The Seed of Becoming, a transpersonal guide for the clinical practitioner. For the clinical practitioner, the therapist, counselor, or health professional who works with martial artists, the Solar Signature Framework offers a transpersonal perspective on personal transformation. The martial arts journey is not merely athletic. It is a path of becoming, a process of progressive self-revelation and self-mastery that mirrors the soul's deeper evolutionary arc. Chapter 8: The 12 Phases of the Combat Cycle. The 12 signs of the zodiac represent 12 distinct qualities of consciousness, 12 ways of engaging with the challenges of existence. In the context of martial arts, these 12 qualities map onto the phases of the combat cycle, from the initial impulse to engage, through the complex dynamics of encounter, to the final resolution and integration. Aries, the impulse of being. Aries represents the raw, undifferentiated impulse to act, the warrior's first breath before the engagement begins. In Aries, there is no strategy, no caution, no memory of past defeats. There is only the pure electric will to move forward. This quality, when cultivated consciously, becomes the source of genuine initiative and decisive action. Taurus, the substance of resistance. Taurus brings the earth, the capacity to receive force and remain unshaken. The Taurian quality in combat is the immovable root, the ability to absorb an opponent's energy without being displaced. This is not passivity. It is the active stability that makes all other movement possible. The versatility of mind. Gemini is the mind in motion, quick, adaptive, perpetually scanning for patterns and opportunities. In combat, Gemini energy manifests as the ability to shift strategy instantaneously, to read the opponent's intentions before they are fully formed, and to respond with lightning-fast mental agility. Cancer, the womb of protection. Cancer governs the protective instinct, the guardian quality that fights not for dominance but for the safety of what is cherished. The Cancerian warrior defends the vulnerable, holds the perimeter, and operates from a deep emotional intelligence that senses threat before it fully materializes. Leo, the radiance of the center. Leo embodies the solar principle itself, the capacity to radiate presence, to command attention, and to lead from the heart. The Leo quality in combat is confidence expressed as magnetism, the warrior who is so fully present that opponents are subtly destabilized by the sheer force of their being. Virgo, the refinement of technique. Virgo is the craftsman of the zodiac, the quality that refines, perfects, and attends to the details that others overlook. In martial arts, Virgo energy drives the pursuit of technical excellence. The endless repetition of kata, the microscopic adjustment of stance, the relentless refinement of timing and accuracy. Libra, the equilibrium of encounter. Libra governs the dynamic balance of two forces in relationship. In combat, this is the moment of true encounter, when two practitioners face each other and the space between them becomes charged with potential. Libra energy is the capacity to maintain internal equilibrium even as external pressures fluctuate. Scorpio, the fire of transformation. Scorpio rules the transformative power of crisis, the capacity to be broken down and reconstituted at a higher level of integration. Every serious martial artist encounters their Scorpio threshold, the moment when everything they thought they knew about themselves is stripped away and they must rebuild from a deeper foundation. Sagittarius, the expansion of vision. Sagittarius is the philosopher warrior, the one who fights in service of a vision larger than personal victory. Sagittarian energy in training is the quality of inspiration, the capacity to see beyond the immediate horizon to the farther shores of possibility. Capricorn, the structure of destiny. Capricorn brings the long view, the understanding that mastery is built over decades, not days. The Capricornian warrior is the elder, the lineage holder, the one whose authority derives not from force, but from the accumulated wisdom of a lifetime of disciplined practice. Aquarius, the evolution of form. Aquarius represents the revolutionary impulse, the capacity to see beyond existing forms to the possibilities that lie ahead. The Aquarian practitioner is the innovator, the one who honors tradition while remaining free to evolve it in response to the needs of the time. Pisces, the threshold of totality. Pisces is the final sign, the dissolution of boundaries, the return to the oceanic source from which all individual forms arise. In martial arts, Pisces energy is the quality of Mushin, the empty mind that is paradoxically the source of the most responsive and effective action. Chapter 9, the survival mottos, tactical wisdom from Aries to Pisces. Each sign of the zodiac carries within it a survival motto, a distillation of its essential tactical wisdom for navigating the challenges of existence. Aries says, strike first, strike decisively, and do not look back. Taurus says, stand your ground, your roots run deeper than your opponent's attack. Gemini says, never be where they expect you to be. Cancer says, protect what matters, everything else is negotiable. Leo says, your greatest weapon is the certainty of your own presence. Virgo says, the detail you perfect today will save your life tomorrow. Libra says, the fight is won before it begins, in the quality of your equilibrium. Scorpio says, what breaks you will rebuild you stronger if you consent to the transformation. Sagittarius says, fight for something worth dying for, and you will be very hard to kill. Capricorn says, patience is the most devastating weapon in the arsenal of the master. Aquarius says, evolve or repeat, the choice is always yours. And Pisces says, in the moment of emptiness, everything is available. Chapter 10, the fourfold integration of the self. The sun, the purpose. In the astrological model, the sun represents the core purpose, the central organizing principle around which all other aspects of the self orbit. In martial arts terms, the sun is the practitioner's deepest motivation for training, the why that sustains practice through difficulty and plateau. The moon, the response. The moon governs the instinctive, emotional response, the body's immediate reaction to threat and challenge. In combat, the moon is everything that happens before conscious thought, the flinch, the block, the intuitive sidestep. Developing lunar awareness means cultivating the intelligent body, the soma that responds wisely without waiting for the mind's instruction. The rising, the manifestation. The rising sign, the ascendant, describes how energy is expressed outward, how the practitioner presents to the world and to the opponent. It is the style of engagement, the quality of presence that others perceive. Training the ascendant means developing a conscious and intentional way of inhabiting one's body in space. The execution. Mars is the planet of action, drive, and directed force. In the martial arts context, Mars governs the actual execution of technique, the quality of the strike, the commitment to the throw, the decisiveness of the submission. A well-integrated Mars is neither reckless nor hesitant. It is the precise application of force in service of a clear intention. Chapter 11, the solar signature, the Dharma of the martial way. Foundation of conscious practice. The solar signature is, at its deepest level, a framework for conscious practice, for bringing full awareness to every dimension of the martial arts journey. Conscious practice means knowing why you train, how your natural qualities express themselves in your technique, where your growing edges lie, and how your individual path contributes to the larger tradition. Martial virtues as evolutionary catalysts. The martial virtues, courage, discipline, integrity, compassion, humility, are not merely ethical guidelines. They are evolutionary catalysts, qualities whose cultivation actively accelerates the development of consciousness. Each time the practitioner chooses courage over fear, discipline over comfort, integrity over expedience, they strengthen the neural and energetic pathways through which higher consciousness can flow. Chapter 12, the call to self-transformation. Elemental quality of will. The four classical elements, fire, earth, air, and water, represent four fundamental qualities of the will. Understanding your elemental profile helps you identify your natural style of engagement and the areas where you can grow. Fire signs, radiant impulse. Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius carry the fire element, the quality of radiant, initiating energy. Fire signs lead with inspiration, vision, and the courage to act before all conditions are perfect. Their challenge is to develop the staying power that turns brilliant impulse into sustained achievement. Earth signs' formative power. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn embody the earth element, the quality of patient, formative power. Earth signs build structures that last, refine techniques through repetition, and achieve through methodical consistency what others cannot achieve through brilliance alone. Their challenge is to remain open to inspiration and spontaneous change. Air signs' circulating intelligence. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius carry the air element, the quality of circulating, connecting intelligence. Air signs are the strategists, the communicators, the innovators of the martial world. Their challenge is to ground their insights in embodied practice, to move from concept to lived experience. Water signs' healing flow. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces embody the water element, the quality of deep emotional intelligence and transformative flow. Water signs sense what others cannot see, navigate the hidden currents of relationship and power, and bring a healing, integrative quality to the martial arts community. Their challenge is to maintain clear boundaries and decisive action. Chapter 13, The Cosmic Symphony, Astrology as a Functional Mandala of Universal Process. Introduction, the Celestial Template and the Yoga of Time. Astrology, understood in its fullest dimension, is a yoga of time, a practice of conscious alignment with the great cycles of cosmic becoming. Just as Hatha Yoga aligns the body with the forces of gravity and breath, astrological practice aligns the practitioner with the tidal forces of solar, lunar, and planetary rhythms. The lineage of the seers from omen to holistic synthesis. The astrological tradition stretches back thousands of years, through Babylonian sky watchers, Egyptian priest astronomers, Greek philosophers, Renaissance magi, and modern depth psychologists. Each generation has added new layers of understanding, refining the tradition from a system of celestial omens into a sophisticated tool for holistic human development. Nested wholeness, the solar system as a master fractal. The solar system is not merely one system among others. It is the master fractal, the template whose patterns repeat at every scale of natural organization. To understand the solar system is to possess a key that opens every door in the palace of nature. The algebra of relationship, cycles, aspects, and functional integrity. Astrological aspects, the angular relationships between planets, describe the quality of interaction between cosmic forces. Harmonious aspects suggest ease of integration. Challenging aspects indicate areas requiring conscious work. For the martial artist, understanding these dynamic relationships within their own chart illuminates the inner choreography of their strengths and developmental edges. The ecological imperative, astrology as a tool for global harmony. At the broadest level, astrological awareness fosters ecological sensitivity, a recognition that human beings are embedded in and responsible to the larger living systems of which they are a part. The martial artist who embodies this awareness becomes not merely a skilled fighter, but a conscious steward of the tradition and the world. About the author. The author of the Solar Signature brings together decades of professional clinical expertise, a deep personal martial arts journey, and a lifelong study of astrology as a tool for insight and transformation. This unique convergence of disciplines, the healing arts, the warrior arts, and the celestial arts, informs every page of this handbook. As a clinical practitioner, the author has worked with individuals navigating the intersection of physical training, psychological development, and spiritual growth. As a martial artist, they have walked the path from beginner's mind through the long middle passage of discipline and doubt to the hard-won clarity of mature practice. And as a student of astrology, they have discovered in the language of the cosmos a mirror that reflects the deepest patterns of human becoming. Acknowledgements. This work would not exist without the teachers, training partners, clients, and cosmic companions who have contributed their wisdom, their challenges, and their presence to the author's journey. Gratitude is offered to all who have walked this path, knowingly or unknowingly, as co-creators of the Solar Signature vision. The images throughout this handbook were created with the assistance of artificial intelligence, honoring the author's commitment to making the invisible visible, to giving form to the cosmic patterns and martial archetypes that live, usually wordlessly, in the practitioner's experience. May this work serve the evolution of the martial arts tradition, and may every practitioner who encounters it find within its pages a mirror, a map, and a call to their own deepest becoming.